My dad didn't have a cell phone until like a year ago. He like ran a mountain bike shop for 35 years. Like that's the way I grew up. And so even though my best friends would have like a cell phone and all that stuff when they were younger, I didn't have that stuff. So I was still outside. I was still enjoying, and I was still like finding like the deeper meaning into things. And so even though I've adapted to times now, I still have that foundation of the simplicity of everything. When I was younger, like I just didn't really care about a lot of things. I was just like, oh, I just want to go outside and enjoy it. But with baseball, like I almost care too much. It's the one thing I'm super passionate about.
Good work.
It just gets overwhelming at times. It took forever, but
That's right.
that's right. Something I work on a lot is just trying to like relax. Like a lot of times I'll tense up and just try and throw a strike, and more often than not, it's like you kind of balk yourself and you end up like cutting it off or something. But if you can just relax and do something you do 100 times a game, but it's like that high stress situation, it brings in all these different areas of muscle tenseness, and in your head you're like, oh, just throw a strike, you know. And that's the hardest thing for me, is just like kind of relaxing and being able to do that.
For me, like fly fishing especially is complete, like there's nothing that turns my brain off and stops me thinking like fly fishing. Surfing too, which Daniels does as well, but like those two things particularly, they fill that void for me. Like
I think fly fishing focuses you on the present moment like nothing else.
nothing else. It almost hypnotizes you.
We all used to be helmet slammers and
Right.
you know, bat breakers, but there's always one person, or there's always a situation or somebody that brings that all back to perspective, and it's got to be organic. It can't just be spoken about. You know, I can't just say, Daniel, calm down.
Yeah.
Why don't you just chill
It's just
out?
not something
Something's
you
got
can
to happen.
transfer
He's
on.
got to punch something and break his hand.
Yeah.
Something crazy's got to happen. You know, now we're down a pitcher for the next month or whatever. That changes your whole perspective the next time you're angry and you go to slam something. It's like, and it starts to calm you down, right? I can remember in AAA, I had a manager, his name was Bobby Jones, and I used to get extremely upset at umpires in the middle of an at-bat. Like, first pitch, outside, call it a strike, and the rest of the at-bat, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. And he finally pulled me to the side and he said, that was only one strike, you still had two to go. You had your whole at-bat to go, and you threw your at-bat away.
I think everybody's got moments like that, and I had one in 2014. We were in the playoffs against Baltimore, and I ended up having to pinch hit and try to bunt off Zach Britton, who's one of the best pitchers. And I don't get the bunt down, end up striking out, and like, I mean, I felt like I lost the game. We ended up losing the series. Ian was the one that calmed me down. Like, I'm in the weight room, don't want to talk to anybody, and he comes in there and gave me that perspective, and that made me better.
I can remember that conversation because I brought it back to exactly what you just said. I said, you got a newly born son at home, you got a wife, the season's over, man. There's nothing you can do about it. You got a beautiful child at home, beautiful wife. Go enjoy life, man.
Good shot.
For me, it's just be where your feet are. You know, like live where you're at. Things happen. You're gonna give the best effort you got, and you're gonna do everything you can in your power to be successful, right? Sometimes it doesn't work out.
Right. Yeah.
So when it doesn't work out, just be where your feet are at and continue to move towards whatever the next goal is.
There was like a turning point this past year where I was literally on the steps about to go and start the game, and a teammate came up to me and like grabbed me by the shoulders and looked at me in the eyes and said, just have fun. And I was like, what the heck? Like,
Stop thinking, kind of? Like, stop thinking, right?
Stop thinking. Yeah. And I went out there, and like from that point on, like I threw the ball better than I've ever thrown it. And because I just went out there with that same mindset, like before I get the steps, I'd say just have fun to myself after he told me that. And I'd run out there and it was like night and day, and I stopped. Like, yeah, there would be times where I'd get upset at something, but it was like I'm more focused on just like relaxing and breathing and just doing it instead of trying so hard to do it and getting so mad at myself when I don't do what I expect myself to do. Like, changing that perspective is just, it's a blessing to be able to play, so just enjoy it while you can, for me.